If you watched my last video on the ultrasonic cleaner, you might have noticed I was cleaning up my SKS. I bought this a couple years ago and it's been sitting in Cosmoline ever since. So I've finally gotten it cleaned up and I'm ready to take the first shots with it here today. So at the time when I made the ultrasonic cleaner video, everything was going awesome. Like the cleanup was going fantastic. All of the parts seemed to be in really good shape and it really seemed like I might have a nice shooting rifle. But once I started cleaning up the barreled action portion and looked inside of the chamber, it was a mess. Let's move under the SKS brass catcher I've erected here. So once the barreled action was cleaned up a little bit with brake parts cleaner, I grabbed my little bore scope. This is the cheapest one, no display, no anything. You hook it up to your computer or your phone. And this is what I was seeing. The chamber was either just caked in something or it was rusted and pitted. And especially up in the throat, there was a really black part that I thought was just like the world's worst carbon ring of fouling. So I start working my way through the various solvents and brushes, and I just can't budge any of it. Like it looks the same no matter what I do. So like JB Bore Paste, JB Bore Bright, like I had these on, I think it was a 410 bore mop. I don't know, it was a mop that fit nicely in the chamber. And I'm just going after it with a drill and can't get it to budge. And I eventually pulled out this stuff, this Wheeler lapping compound, 320 grit, way, way, way too abrasive. So with this, I used a looser mop and went really, really slow and tried to just go really slow. So I finally got it to a point where I think I'm okay with shooting it, because I think in its original state, there was no hope I was going to get extraction. Like we'd be pounding it open with a rubber mallet. And that may still be the situation we end up in, and maybe I'll need to go a little farther. It also looks like the chrome lining in the barrel is flaking off. There's like these black specks and black spots, and they're like throughout the length of the barrel. And the crown's not looking too great either. So my expectations are extremely low. And one more thing, I grabbed some 315 round balls. These are for like muzzleloaders, and drove them down the bore. And you know, got some rifling cuts, but doesn't look like 315 was big enough to get a print of the grooves. So I've got some bigger round balls that are going to be a little more difficult to hammer through, but they'll give us a better look. We'll have a look at that in the next video, but it looks like the bore might be really big. But then again, I'm not sure how exact these are. I'm not sure what the tolerance is on these, because these are used with patches in muzzleloaders, so diameter might not be super critical. For the first shots, I've loaded up these 5 rounds. The load is, it's 123 grain Hornady full metal jacket with 22 grains of accurate 1680. That's a very light load of accurate 1680, so it may not cycle the gun even if everything operates properly. Now with all this going on, I gotta admit I'm a little bit worried. So I brought out the lead sled. I'm gonna go ahead and weight it down. We're gonna tie a string to the trigger and we'll fire this guy remotely, at least the first time. All right, so I think I got this lined up just about right. Yeah, that looks pretty close. Tell you what, my cat loves string more than you love guns, man. This was laying in the living room. I'm like, why not use it? Maybe we get behind this tree. All right, this dinky little string, I don't know if it's gonna get the job done. Let's make sure it's cocked. Yeah, I think it is. Yep. All right, let's see what I can feel when I pull. Yep, I just heard it go off. Yep, seems to have worked. Let's try it one more time. All right, a little joltier this time maybe. Yep, no big deal. Went right off. All right, so the plan will be to put that guy back there and then this right here. Yep, I think that'll be good. And I don't think it'll go flying off the table or anything goofy like that. The first thing I need to do is make sure these rounds are going to fit in the gun. I haven't actually done that yet. And I don't really know the gun well enough. I don't have stripper clips either. All right, so that just went completely in the battery. No problems whatsoever. See if I can extract it. Looks like it. It kicked itself out. All right, I think we're ready to shoot. All right, camera's on both sides. Everything's running. Everything's weighed down. All right, almost got it. Okay, we're in battery. All right, I'm back in my hidey hole. Got the string starting to pull. All right, gonna pull harder right now. Okay, I didn't hear any metal flying. Well, holy moly, locked the bolt back. Looking around for the piece of brass now. All right, here's our piece of brass. It does have one scratch there. Not sure if that's normal. Doesn't look damaging at all. Brass looks pretty dang good. Like really dang good. That was a nice light load, so the primer's nice and rounded. There's no cratering whatsoever. And I don't have a set of go, no-go gauges. So I was just kind of eyeballing the headspace difference between these two. Trying to get them lined up about right. It seems in the ballpark. Whether or not it's in spec or not, I don't know. Just spotted the big crack in the neck. Did you guys see that earlier? Yep, split the neck. We'll see if that's a trend. Okay, if I can figure out how to load it, the next thing I want to do is, let's see if it'll cycle 2. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch some basic operation videos, figure out how to run this thing. All right, here goes the first shot. I'm gonna release it. I assume that reset the trigger, and I'm gonna pull again. And there it went. Fantastic. So these two pieces of brass look great as well, and it doesn't look like either one of them split the neck. So I've got 2 rounds left. We'll get rid of all this string crap and fire them from the shoulder. See if we can hit anything. So I'm going to shoot at a pretty big piece of steel at about 50 yards. All right, so that second shot, I hit the wrong plate. But hey, I'm in the ballpark. All right, very promising results. I don't want to leave you hanging, so let's go inside and have a quick look with the borescope and see if the rest of that chrome lining flaked off, or, you know, we'll see what things look like. All right, let's start out with the head-on view here. And looking about the same as it did. I'm going to need to pull out the bolt carrier. That should give us the better angle. So nothing super weird here. There's the shoulder and the throat. And then into the barrel. These big, I don't know if they're chatter marks. I assume those are chatter marks on all of the rifling. Right about there. Right about this area, it starts picking up like this weird streaking. Yeah, a little bit of that here and there. There's the gas port. All right, so this is the 90-degree camera going into the chamber. And that's the shoulder. And yeah. Pretty good little chunk here. Just kind of looking with the 90-degree camera to see if I could find any like larger flaking or, you know, signs that I was just worried like all of this would disintegrate with the first few shots or start coming off in huge chunks. I don't remember that one being quite so bad. There's our gas port. Yeah, like I'm not seeing anything any worse than it was. So I think we're in good shape. I mean, I think we're ready to basically move forward. So that's been the delay for the last couple days. Like I ran into this and I really just kind of wanted to stop, and I didn't want to try and get too crazy with the abrasives too early. I read through 10 million forum threads about these barrels and how the barrel's chrome lined and the chamber's not. Like rough looking chambers is not uncommon. So our first reloading video is delayed a couple days, but I feel like it was a worthwhile delay, and I can't wait to get started. The first video is probably going to be pretty modest. We'll just load up a few things and go out and see what sort of group we're looking at with this gun. But I think no matter what, even if it's a really terrible shooter and maybe we do find that bore slug's really large, we should be able to play around with some powder coated lead bullets and size them whatever size is needed for the barrel and go that direction. But then again, a bore this rough may end up leading really bad. I don't know. I guess that's what I'm saying is like there's a whole lot of things we can play with, even if it does end up kind of being a crappy shooting gun. But most importantly, it seems to run well. I can't wait to get started. So that's it. I'm going to be on the range tomorrow. So I'm ready to rock with this. As long as there's no other major function issue that I run into or anything, you can expect the next video Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you need something else to watch in the meantime, go check out my second channel. Right now it's called JRB Outdoors. It's where I've put my hunting videos and stuff over the years. And lately I've been posting videos about my chickens and some other stuff. So I think that channel is going to get rebranded to something else and getting a little bit more active. So now's the time. Jump in over there. 5 years from now, you can be like, man, I've been a subscriber since it was called JRB Outdoors. I'll have links everywhere for all that crap. I'll throw a link for this bore scope. So one last final note before we say goodbye. That first shot that split the neck was the only one that split the neck. And all the other brass looks good. Like this is better looking brass than I was expecting, because everybody was saying these really tear it up. So hopefully it'll be a case where we can just back it off, shoot reasonable loads. I'm not trying to shoot high velocity stuff or do anything other than enjoy the gun. So hopefully we can do that and it won't be too hard on brass. All right, that's it. See you guys on Sunday, 8 p.m.